Good morning, everyone. Breaking news this morning. The market has collapsed. The market has blown past my target level and reached another weekly low. Good morning, guys. If you're here for the first time, my name's Tyler. I'm glad that you're here this morning. Today is going to be a crazy day of volatility, I'm sure of it. Or maybe we've seen the worst of it overnight, and now it's just going to consolidate. And just keep in mind, those consolidation candles can be up to 20 to 40 handles. It's just crazy right now. Anyway. Let's go ahead, open in prayer, and then we're going to rock and roll here this morning. Father, we thank you for the opportunity we have to trade. Father, I pray for wisdom, understanding, and patience in the market as we watch. I just pray that you would give us insight to what's going on. Give us insight on what trades to take, when to stay in, when to get out. Father, we ask for your wisdom. I pray for blessing everybody that is here this morning. In Jesus' name, amen. Jesse, good morning. Tony, good morning. Good morning, good morning. I don't even know what to say. I really don't even know what to say. We dropped over about 1,000 points last night. And now we've swept a weekly low. There's our weekly low right there. And we've reacted. We did react from this weekly low. But today we're going to have to talk about risk management. We're going to have to talk about how we handle this. I'm going to be only trading one micro contract. I'm not going to put myself at any extra risk that I don't need to carry. And I would encourage you to do the same. These candles are massive. 50 candles on this candle right here. 50 points. They're absolutely huge. So, what are we going to do here this morning? Well, we're going to look for longs. That's honestly what we're going to do right now because we hit this weekly time frame or this weekly key level down here, which we did. Once we hit that level, we rebounded back. And we've swept some highs and made some equal highs. We got equal highs right here. But to protect my interest, I'm only going to be going for one contract. And right up front, I mean, this doesn't look bad at all, but knowing that we're in a very back and forth market, taking an expansion does not sound very appealing. I would rather take a long off of a retracement and then see it go long. Good morning, Ted. JB, good morning. It hit the historic daily fair value gap. The daily historic. What is the daily historic? I don't even know what that is. Let me look it up. NQ1. We on the daily here. January 8th, 2024. We got the low of the year is right here. Did we hit that? No. The low of the year is sitting at 17,576. So we potentially could still go lower. We're going to call that a yearly low. That's happened to me before, Ted. It's not the best experience, but it is what it is. I had like, one time it renewed like 6 for me or something like that. All right, so what are we doing this morning? We are going to, we already had NFP. Who cares about NFP when you got 1,000-point drop? I mean, look at that. Look at that. That's nothing compared to all this volatility we've seen. So really insignificant as far as news. We're just looking for structure and finding out where we could take an opportunity to scalp. I'm not looking for big plays. I'm looking for 10 to 20 handle wins. Probably 20 handle wins. 10 handles just seems too minute and petty at this point. So probably 20 to 40 handle moves is probably what the target's going to be on some of these. We got the market opening in 3 minutes. I'm not going to be playing the 9:30 model unless it's extremely obvious. Fed chair speaks at lunch. All right, I'm going to make sure my other screens are up and running here. I mean, simply a move like this is just, it's 170 points in 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. That could happen at the open. Emilio, good morning. Yeah, we swept the low from last April. I mean, it's pretty crazy right now. Yeah, we got that breaker. Equal lows. I mean, we made equal highs. We could probably push lower here. We got 5 minutes till the market opens. Let me zoom out here. No, I'm not interested in that 15-minute breaker. Maybe this volume imbalance, which we've already filled. 30-minute volume imbalance. There's no fair value gaps. We hit the 30-minute fair value gap here. 60-minute, we're there. I mean, I don't even know how to... I'm thinking longs. I mean, honestly, it's I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna pretend I know all when I might have questions. Could we go lower? I think 17,500 ish is probably the target, because that's going to be our, I think it was 17,560 or something like that. That was the yearly low. So let's just say 17,550. So I think this could potentially be a target. We hit the target that I said I wanted to go for. I was really looking. I mentioned yesterday. I said it could be tonight, it could be tomorrow, it could be next week, and it hit it overnight, and then it ran an extra 600 points for the next low. So NFP has zero effect. Yeah, I mean, NFP is nothing when you got tariffs. And I mean, did you guys see the news this morning? The big news? It's some major news. Oops, let me I'll pop it up. There she be, right there. That right there, my friends. China. I mean, what do you expect the second largest world power to say? Oh yeah, we'll remove our tariffs right away. No, we're gonna match your tariffs. Now, how does that affect us practically living? I don't know. I mean, it depends on where you live, I guess. Trading wise, it makes for some volatility, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, Emilio, I'm not even considering the opening range gap. Market opens here in a minute. 27 seconds. Let's jump back to that. Oh, there we go. I'm going to expect a lot of back and forth price action, to be honest. So if we get some candles that are big candles, I'm expecting it to kind of do this. Overlapping. Let's see if we close above this fair value gap. No close above the fair value gap. I think, folks, I mean, no, none of the rules are in play. None of ICT's rules are in play. None of his models, here's what you can expect on a Friday type thing. Nope, none of it. We have outside input that is affecting the market in a tremendous way, which creates extreme uncertainty. So you're looking at not taking much risk here. I mean, your risk is tremendous, especially based on the sides. What's up, Stan? Based on the size of these candles. I mean, single candles are huge. So what we have to do is read order flow. Okay, higher time frame. Yes, we hit a key level, but to me, we could still drop. This means nothing if we got a retracement, yes. But if we have big news like we've been seeing, and it wants to move lower, then it's going to move lower. You just got to be on the same side. So even though I want to see higher prices, I probably will take some trade like right here. We have a 1 minute right here that's unfilled. It was tagged once. I would consider taking that to the next swing low. Whatever direction we see price running, that's probably, especially if it's going to go lower. I mean, right now, that's kind of what I'm looking at. There's no liquidity fair value gaps to the downside on the 15-minute. On the 5-minute, we have one that's sitting right overlapping with this 1 minute that I have here. But while it's respecting some of these fair value gaps, some of these wicks are just tremendous. So extreme caution is advised. Extreme caution is advised. 34 handles is that wick. We swept that low. There's a breaker, tagged again, or just came up short of it, barely. We have a first fair value gap. Oh yeah, it did come up into that first fair value gap. Thank you. But trying to chase it right now is disaster. So like if you would have tried to go short, it just retraced 20 handles. Now it could just keep going, but I mean, you don't know that. So you have to be accurate on your entries. You have to take it when you hit your key levels, and you got to take it. You got to take it like a champ. And if it's right, it's going to pay. And if it's wrong, you're going to get stopped out quick. So extreme caution. We're using 1 micro this morning. I'm going to give myself one opportunity. If it's a loss, I'm going to be done. If I take a loss on my first trade, I will be done for today. To me, that's just, I gotta I gotta protect the capital game. So what does that mean for my trade? It means I'm looking for a great setup. I will put my screen on right there so you guys can see my screen. I got one micro selected. Gonna mark out 930. I'm honestly expecting price to react at this fair value gap, as in find support here. That's what I would expect it to do. Emilio, I expect the same. Take the 809 low and reprice higher. Is that right? Oh, right there. We got a fair value gap there. There's a smaller one down here, but this is the obvious one before this big push. That's where you could take a short right there. Got a breaker. Well, I played out nicely. I didn't take the trade. That's what I was looking at right there. When I said that could be a short entry, was when it came up to that level. there's a sweep of this low inside this fair value gap. We'll see how it wants to react here. Yes, Dominique, I will, but it's not like my primary. It's not my primary thing that I focus on. It's nice when I see it, but it's not something that I'm put heavy attention to. And I know a lot of traders do. I don't. Watching this fair value gap here and this one here. I would love to see it retrace back up to here. Or a reverse all the way back up to there. That seems the appropriate area. Nice smooth levels there. But I mean, it's a lot. We're talking a lot of room. Okay, no long for me on that. It did not close above. If we close above it, I'm going to look for the wick down into this fair value gap. So you'll see this fair value gap that's going to be created right here. If we don't hit this high, I'm going to look for the wick down into here to take the long. I'm not going to take the long here. Technically, we swept the high. So no trade for me there. I had the right point for the reversal. Just don't have my entry for it. We have a breaker right here. $9.30, it's tagging right now. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at, seeing if it wants to come back down. I don't want to take these pushes. I want to get in on the retracements. But as you can see, we haven't had much retracements when we have these big pushes. So the other option will be over the first fair value gap towards the high and equal highs. Yeah, Emilio, it's just in, like, the area of growth that I need to grow more in and improve on is, while I can see it, sometimes I'll just be like, oh, let's take the trade. I got the idea, and I'm right on the idea most of the time, but it's the volatility that smacks me in the face. So it ends up stopping me out, or I take a loss because of that. So it's waiting for my model, despite knowing where it's going to go. It's very hard to do. It is very hard to be patient enough when I've done it so many times where I call out the levels that I'm like, okay, we should see a retracement, we should see a bounce or support here. You know, obviously I'm not just going to blindly go long here. That's just insane. It doesn't make sense to do that. I guess you could if you're that confident, but I'm not, obviously. So you get inside some of these trades, and then it stops you out because I don't wait for my specific model. All right, we hit 9:30. I'm hitting 9:30 is what caused me not to take an entry here. If it was going to reject 9:30, it rejected 9:30 here. That's what I don't like about getting in right here. It looks beautiful. What I'll do is wait for an order block to be created, or I could take this right here. Okay, it did not create an order block. It closed below it. You can see that. And I like the idea of it going long right here for sure. That candle's 50 handles, folks. Candle's 50 handles. What's up, Raise the King? Yeah, I mean it did pay. It did pay. 1 micro. Way to go. Those are the best. I guess you could have just taken the 50 handles and gotten out. I mean, the volatility is so large. I'm just looking at it as a bigger move. Trying to see, all right, can we get in that trade towards the equal highs? Manny, what's up? How you doing? Finally found a faith-based community and day trader. That's right. All about Jesus here. Watching this first fair value gap. Remember what I said about no hesitation? I hesitated here, and what did I do? I missed my opportunity. So hesitation is a killer. And what happens is once you hesitate and then you see it go in your favor, you go, oh, I'm missing the move. So hesitation leads to FOMO, and FOMO leads to losses. Do you guys get that? Hesitation leads to missed opportunities. Missed opportunities lead to FOMO. FOMO leads to lost profits. So you cannot have, you can't, if you see your entry, freaking take it. I didn't take it here. I called it right there. 93 handles. Now that we ran through the first fair value gap, I'm not looking. No, I don't even care. I won't take this. Quite frankly, we're going back and forth here, even though these candles are huge. I mean, that was a 72 handle drop. And those breakers are best on the first attempt. The second attempt or the second time it can work, but your probability goes down, especially if you hit key levels. The reason why I didn't take it was 930. It hit 930 and it stopped, and so I'm like, I don't know if I want to take it. Well, we see what happens when we hesitate, right? Filled this fair value gap right here. Respecting the inversion to the upside, this bullish inversion fair value gap right here. Look how we came up to the last fair value gap up here, and now we reached for the first fair value gap down here. Look at that candle. We didn't close above this inversion right here, so no entry. TOC, you sound like Yoda. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to dark side. I can't do the Yoda voice. I don't even want to try. I'd be embarrassed. Alright, so we'll see what happens right here. I'm willing to take this. Okay, I'm reaching up for the equal highs here. I have a 50 handle stop loss. Reaching for the equal highs at 18,274, 275. We do have to get through this right there. If we can't get through that fair value gap, we won't make it. Stop loss will be moved to break even as soon as we hit this swing high right here. To me, we're in a market maker buy model right here. Completion is here and potentially that high. So we're looking to see if we can get that right now. Got a breaker right there. $41.91. There's 50 handles. I'm probably not going to take more than a 50 handle loss. That's 100 points. I could probably go 150. No, I'm going to leave it there. It needs to go from here. If it's going to drop, it's going to drop. Okay, we respected the fair value gap there. I feel like we could get, it could just tap me here. I'm going to move it down below this fair value gap. It's 100 points. No, less than 100 points, 80 points. But we're going to give it a shot. I'm only doing a single micro here. Alright, we just tapped that downside fair value gap. I want to see it react here. If it doesn't, I'm completely on the wrong side, and I'll get stopped out. These candles are absolutely huge, Raise the King. I mean, they're gigantic. So I'm not doing, no, I'm not. When you're managing your risk and managing accounts, I'm like, I can't do that. I really want that to close green. Oh, gave me a tiny green candle, but probably not to hold me here. Technically, the first fair value gap was violated, so I would be out of this trade. But I'm expecting the volatility to go back and forth. We just reached this lowest fair value gap, so I want to see it push higher now. It keeps losing it at the end of the candle. That's not good. That's prime for an expansion lower right there, folks. Probably going to get stopped out here. All right. And there it is. All right. One and done for me today, folks. I am logged out. I'm not going to mess around with the high volatility. I was willing to take one chance. I hesitated on my first entry. Didn't take it. Took it on the fair value gap, break to the upside. We couldn't get to the high. So even though, I mean, it's helpful that I'm reading the market at different points, it's not helpful if I don't take the trades based on those, right? It means nothing. Yeah, it's good for reading order flow and getting confidence, but you got to get to the point where you're able to take a trade off of it. Well, I didn't take a trade because of how volatile it was today with the news and the 1,000-point drop that we had over the night. You know, all those factors go into when hesitation, do I want to put real money on the table, all those factors. And I was willing to spread my stop for a legitimate move to the upside, and it was rejected. So I'm not going to play again. I'm going to not take another trade for that. Yeah, this could be the 10 a.m. reversal. I mean, or a sweep right here. TOC, yes sir. Yes sir, it's nasty. It's nasty unless you're on the right side. On the right, when you're on the right side, it's like, holy cow, isn't that amazing? Look at that, I just had 50 handles, 100 handle move in 10 seconds. Sounds like raise the kings on the right side right now. Hope it hits. Nice job, Diane. Way to go. There you go. That should have hit. Definitely feels good when it hits, doesn't it? Makes for a nice morning. This is the inversion that I mentioned here, right here. It looks like we're going to close below it. We've already ran the swing low, so that individual target is technically invalid. There's the next fair value gap. You could include both sides of those gaps. See you, TSC. $15-minute looks like it's going to create an order block here to the downside. These are great markets to pass evals, Ted. Oh. Or blow evals. But it's really easy to pass them in an environment like this if you're on the right side. One trade can do it. No, they don't. These drops like this are insane.
You know what? Maybe you just leave it.
Nice job, Ted. 2 out of 3. That's some good work. Looking back on my first fair value gap option, the only thing that I mentioned this, I said we really had to get through this, and we didn't get through it, and we rejected it. So I think I don't regret taking that. It looked good. It had the breaker. It fell apart. We were doing with this posturing right here. Just was like, this looks like it's gonna run lower. A 300. I don't think I've ever gotten a 300 account. That's be conservative is all I have to say. Don't be like, oh man, it says it lets me go up to 20 mini contracts. Maybe I should do 10 of those. Don't do that. Yeah, what do you got to get? What is the target on a 300K? Isn't it like 11,000? 9,000. I think it's 9,000 actually. Would I take a short on this? Yeah, it would be the cleanest setup for a short on this lower fair value gap. Are you talking about bearish? Yeah, you're talking about right here. Yeah, your target would be this swing low right here. It's the cleanest setup. If we have a continuation, that's what it should run to. Lower. We'll let it retrace to this breaker here. Bannock, 20,000 with $7,500 drawdown. TC, welcome. That's cool, man. Day one. Day one, you should be sitting and watching. This is not the day to start on day one. Okay? Let me say it another way. What we're experiencing today will happen one time a year, 2 times a year. And we've seen it happen for like a week straight. I've been trading for 2 years on ICT concepts, but probably about 3 to 4 years total. This is the first time I've ever seen a market like this. So it is not the best conditions to start learning and trying to read order flow. Your best option is to wait for market to really calm down and start reading the price action that's a lot slower. It's crazy right now, but I'm glad you're here. We'll talk through it and point out things that I think that are irrelevant. I'm watching to see how it reacts to this breaker, that black line that we have right there. I didn't have any concepts before ICT. I followed a guy named, what's his name? Lander? A 20-year-old? I think his name was Lander. He traded options, and he would read the tape, and he was a breakout trader. And I had no idea what his model was. He just said, "Yeah, read the tape." And when you see the tape speed up, that's when you want to get in. I could never figure it out. The guy made $20,000, $15,000 a day. Still, to this day, I don't know if he's still doing it or not, but I find ICT concepts and it gave me a language. I'm like, forget all that. I'm not doing none of that. All right, so we didn't hit the down close candle. You'll see the down close candle was the low was right here. We hit this low right here, and we hit that and rejected it. Got a little bit of a breaker right here. This is where things can kind of get a little sloppy and uncertain because we're inside of this range over here. We're inside this bigger range right here. And that makes things a little tricky. Who asked me about going short on this inversion? I can't remember who said that, but if we hit that level there, you got to move your stop to break even. So no entry. We're still inside that fair value gap. We came into that 5-minute fair value gap, yes. Could give us the energy to move lower. With how much it's stayed in this fair value gap, I do like the idea of it closing lower and running to this low right here. Well, TC, Maze, you're well. Ask any questions you want. There is no question that you can't ask in here, and I will do everything I can to help. Kind of give you some direction here, at least on while we're streaming here. Yeah, I know it didn't hit the breaker. It hit the next candle, the 956 candle. We don't want it to run that level there. We don't want it to run this level right now. We want it to close below that gray box, but above that line. We have a fair value gap here that it could retrace up to. All right, so there is the entry. Stop loss is above this fair value gap. take profit is going to be down here. Once we hit this black line, we have to move our stop to break even. Stops at break even. You can take profit there, or you can see if it wants to run lower. All right, target hit. No, that was straight demo there, Ted. I said I was done after that trade. I'm not going to take another trade. See the reaction once we grab that low? I didn't think we were going to run back down here quite yet. I mean, that's still a possibility, but I really would have, I was willing to sell all of it right there. Or not hold for any longer period, because we've seen price just kind of do this back and forth. Yeah, and a market maker sell model that's 450 points from top to bottom. I mean, that looks about right. It's symmetrical. Do you see that? The left side to the high, and then the right side down to the low here. The next thing that we want to watch is how do we react to the wick of this candle here, of that last candle. The midpoint of that is right at the weekly low, so we could see really price run down to this and find support at that weekly low again. That's a possibility. I want you guys to look at the 1030 candle. Look at the 1030 candle. Do you see what I mean by manipulation? This is my perfect example of what I mean by I don't like taking trades right at 10:30. That is a manipulation candle. We are obviously running in one direction. 10:30 happens. Boop. We're just going to throw that in there. And then we continue lower. And I say that, I mean, because this is obviously doing the same thing. But I'm saying at 10:30 specifically, that happens a lot. If I was to make a runner, raise the king, I would look at 17,852. You said 819? I mean, if we're going to hit that low, we're going to explode through that low. If we're going to run that low, we're going to sweep it. We're not just going to sweep it. We're probably going to run another 20, 30, 40, 50 handles potentially. Yeah, it would move really quickly. You guys see this? Trump responded to China's tariffs. He says, China played it wrong. They panicked. The one thing they cannot afford to do. Not going to lie. Trump has some balls. And they're the solid, gold kind. All right, that's what I'm watching right here. Watching that. This is where I think we'll probably get a reaction. And if it just sells off, then man, we are in big doo-doo. There's that low. What is Tesla at? I bought some Tesla not too long ago after the first giant drop. Do I not have Tesla on here? I thought I had it. Let me add it. Oh, actually, it's not bad. It's doing a lot better than I thought it was. I bought at 230. So I bought right around here. So I'm still green. We could go down to this low on Tesla. I'll probably end up buying some more down here. right around, if we can get 210, if we get to 210, I'll probably buy some more. Gold, it's had some two rocky, massive days. But, I mean, we reached all-time highs, 3,200. On gold, on a weekly perspective, I'm looking at gold coming into this fair value gap right here on the weekly. And finding support on that weekly fair value gap. We got a down close. We have a down close candle right here. So that's going to act as an order block on the weekly time frame. There's the high, and we'll mark that as a weekly OB. All right, there's the reaction that I expected that we would get right at the consequent encroachment of that wick and the weekly low. How big is it going to be? I don't know, but so far 59 handles. I would be watching this order block right here to see if it wants to respect this order block and then continue lower, or do we just push right through it? If we get through the midpoint of it, I would say the idea of lower prices are out for a little bit. I'm just saying, like, short term. As far as this price leg goes, does it want to respect it, or does it get through the midpoint or the mean threshold of that order block? Oh, see you, Ted. Hey, let me say that I subscribed specifically because we're day trading with Jesus. Do you have a trading group I can join? TC Mays, I do, but it's part of a course called the Purpose Driven Trader Academy. There is a cost to it, unfortunately, and it comes with a Discord that we're growing that community there, where you can at any time ask me questions. I'll help you through, review your charts, whatever you need help on, we do inside that Discord. But there is a cost, unfortunately, for that access. If I'm not saying you need to do it, but if you're interested in checking out or learning more, it's on. You can find it down in my description. The website is dtjacademy.com, and the course is called the Purpose Driven Trader Academy. No, I thought about that, Manny. So when I was coming up with names, I was actually working with ChatGPT of giving me a list of a whole bunch of different versions. I told them what my course was about, what I wanted it to stand for. I wanted it to be more than just day trading. I wanted it to have purpose. I wanted to, in short, my purpose for this channel is to help believers become financially free so they can have kingdom impact. So that's basically my motto for this, for everything that I'm doing here. And one of the options was purpose driven. And I'm like, I know what that is. I know where that comes from, but I really like it. So I took it. But it wasn't because I was thinking of the purpose-driven challenge, purpose-driven life. I think that's what it's called. That was years and years ago. It's doing some dancing there for you, Raise the King. It's dancing around that level. Yeah, that's kind of the big perspective of why I'm doing what I'm doing. I really want to see people become financially free because of that. But it's not easy. I will tell you that right now. It's not a quick quick lesson, learn it, and then you have it and you move on. It's for me, it took me 18 months to start making money. And even in the process of making money, I still have to manage my emotions and have the back and forth on dealing with taking emotional trades and not taking emotional trades. It's a feat, and there's so many lessons in the Bible, so many lessons in the Word of God that have taught me and continue to teach me. We might get it. We might get this low and continue to teach me on the principles of the kingdom of God. It's not just there you go. Boom. Way to go. It's probably because I'm talking so loud. Let me turn down the volume here. It's probably because I was talking too loud, so I turned down the volume a little bit, guys, if I'm low. In total, 3 years probably. The first year is complete garbage. Utter garbage. Straight gambling. The year 2 and 3 were basically, or year 2 was all learning ICT's concepts. And in that journey, found profitability. Am I making? I haven't. Here's where I'm at. Full disclosure for everybody here, because I don't hide anything. I cover bills. I haven't replaced my income yet, so I'm not at the end of my journey. My journey is still on its way. I don't know if that is what others are hearing. If it's only me, then I'll figure it out. What are you talking about, Bannock? Did you mention something earlier? Your mic. Oh, yeah, the mic. Got it. Yeah, we're selling off. I mean, it's crazy what's happening. Yeah, I was just on my one trade that I took today was on the wrong side. Looked at us hitting this weekly low and thought we could see a higher move, and we didn't get it. So because of the volatility and it being the end of the week, I was only willing to take one loss today. on stream with you guys, and we're letting it play out. We're not going to take another trade. The annual or the yearly low is right here. This is the yearly low. Do we want, what do we want? What color do we want to make that? How do we make it, you know, stand out? Like, do we do that? Oops. That stands out, right? According to this contract, the low is down here at 17,217 on this contract. If we were to go to the NQM1 or NQ1, the low is different. So doing it based on the contract, I guess it could be much lower. It could be at 17,217. Manny, I think I just got so comfortable with NQ. I liked I liked the volatility. And that's pretty much was the reason. Every symbol on your chart is red. Yeah, everything is this is a massive, massive correction. It's not the end of the world, though, folks. Not the end of the world. It's just dropping. LJ, what's up? With Take Profit Trader. How much is it with Take Profit Trader? Take Profit Trader. I think you mentioned it before. Are they in the UK? Or are they here in the States? There's the United States. Okay, so there it is. How it works. $119. JJB, how you doing? Yeah, there we needed a massive correction. Number of days in pro count, minimal first draw. Okay, so you have to pay $119 and then you have to pay $130 to get the pro account. Is that right? So it's $119 a month for the eval. They have no activation fee. Okay. Do you pay, is it $119 a month, or once you pass your eval account, do you, or once you pass your target, do you, with no activation, do you have a monthly cost after that? I'm on the site right now, I'm looking. But I'm asking at the same time because you might be able to find it, you might be able to tell me before I find it. Profit split, 80-20. Pro Plus. Once you pass no rebilling, okay. That doesn't seem bad. I might try one of these accounts. But they have a pro account. All right, my friend. Take care. Have a blessed day. I'm looking at this site here. To me, this was the purge below the weekly right now. So we'll see. Let's see if it wants to get back above the weekly, that weekly low. Or if it's going to stay heavy. There's a breaker right here. Cool. All right, so we did push through this level. We're looking at these swing highs here. Assad, there is not. The only thing that transfers is the lines around your mouse. So you'll see the dotted hashes that follow my cursor everywhere. Those will transfer to the micros so you can see that, but they won't transfer over to the from minis to micros. How does the U.S. itself manage with the tariffs? How does it affect you? So tariffs, there's several different sides to tariffs, but you know, if China sends us something for $100 and there's a 30% tariff on it, send something to the U.S., somebody bought it for whatever money is being paid to China for those tariffs, the United States will take 30% of that. So they'll take $34 out of that $100. So that means China has to drop their prices to make sure that it stays the same price here in the States, or they increase the price. They can make up for those losses by just charging the same on tariffs on stuff that comes out of the United States into China. Now, the only thing I don't think that's really, they by far are a much bigger exporter than we are to their country. So they export significantly more to the United States than we send to China. So I think it might have a bigger impact on them. But, I mean, they're for sure trying to posture themselves as somebody that won't back down to the United States. They make things more expensive here, theoretically, for us to purchase. Anything that's made in China or any other country. All right, it's 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. We saw that bounce right here and quite a reaction. And it's probably going to start, I could see us start displacing. This is our sign that we've hit the low for the day. That's how I see this. This candle here, as long as it stays full-bodied, is telling me that this could be the low of day. I would like to see if we can push through this right here. I think we probably are going to see some type of reversal. I'd like to see how we react to this level right here. If we can close above it to see it run for that swing high. All right, so it's closed. It's probably gonna, it just closed and we made equal highs. It makes it a much harder trade to take that. There's an option if we come back down into here, I might be interested in taking a long. Like right there. Seeing if we want to hold this and push up to these equal highs here. And it didn't hold, so we don't want to do anything with that. Did we hit? We just hit a breaker right here. Curious to see if we want to bounce from that. U.S. trade deficit, China will reach billion, making the largest deficit among U.S. trading partners. Yeah, it's not, this is a volatile time with Trump being in office. We still haven't hit that breaker up here. J Money, how you doing? So I want to see if this fair value gap is going to hold right here. If we can see it hold and we can inverse this small little fair value gap right here, that will be good for a potential move to these equal highs. And with these equal highs right here, I would like to see us push through those levels. The weekly chart. All right, so we swept that high. I want to see it push higher right here. Cyrus, I had a loss today. And I was only willing to take one trade or one loss. After that, I took a demo trade for about, what was it, 30 handles? Right here, I think. It was somewhere around here. We took a trade that played out nicely. And then we look for a breaker here. I think we could just run all the way up to these equal highs, to be honest. But the level that I'm going to look at, if you're looking at a level to keep track of, I would say this first fair value gap. It's extremely volatile today. You have to literally be on the right side of the move. If you're not, you're getting crushed. Crush-a-rooski. What time is Pal speaking? In 10 minutes. All right, I want to see it hit this. I want to see it run for these equal highs. To me, the equal highs are the obvious target. In 10 minutes, 11:25. Okay. I'll be right back, folks. I have to use the restroom. Okay, still pushing. Still pushing higher. Do we got what it takes? Do we have what it takes to push to the equal highs? And even if we didn't hit the equal highs though, folks, this level right here, we have a fair value gap that has been unmitigated right here. So this is an unmitigated fair value gap overlapping with that first fair value gap that it has not been touched. So even if we wanted to keep these swing highs and just, make a lower high over here, we still have this unmitigated fair value gap that I think we could really, it could move up to. The 5-minute just opened a new candle on, and it landed right on the BPR, or right on the order block right here. On the 15-minute, we still got 10 minutes left before we see any type of fair value gap created. On the 30-minute, closes in 9 minutes as well. It looks like we may get a inversion fair value gap to the upside. Yeah, this looks good. What'd you backtest, Tony? What do you mean the low? Like if it ran the low of a week, how it reacted? Is that what you're referring to? Price tested a weekly low. Yeah, it hit the weekly low from April, but I don't know. I guess I don't know what you mean by you back tested it. Did you just back test different weeks to see how it reacted when it swept the low, or you just saw that it hit that weekly low, that April low? Oh, got it. Makes sense. All right, let's see if we can move higher to this level up here, or if we're going to just react lower and drop. Cyrus, I appreciate it, my friend. Tell YouTube that. Tell YouTube. YouTube needs to do something about that. No, I'm grateful. Here's my philosophy on that, Cyrus. I've already had a discussion with the Lord, and I told the Lord, I said, Lord, whoever you bring my way, I want to be faithful with, whether it's a small number or a large number. I just want to be faithful and help those that need the help. I want to provide guidance to those that the Lord brings my way. And as I'm faithful, obviously I love the idea of success and seeing larger, having a bigger impact, but I want at the end of the day, when I'm standing before the Lord, I want the Lord to say, well done and good and faithful servant. I want the Lord to say, you are faithful with what I gave you. Because that at the end of the day is really what matters. But I had to go through that whole process personally to get to that point of being able to say that, because I wasn't there at first. I'm thinking like I want to have an impact. I want to have 100,000 people I'm impacting. I want to see big numbers, and it was about the numbers. Now, don't get me wrong. I still make my videos. I still do the stuff to promote bigger numbers, but at the end of the day, I just want to be faithful with what the Lord's given me. I want to be faithful with that. How's it going, brother? Any material you recommend me studying if I want to learn ICT without all the extra talk? If you want to learn ICT without the extra talk, unfortunately, no matter where you look, you're going to have to pay for it, most likely. There probably are some free stuff on YouTube if you want to go, topic by topic. I have a whole course called the Purpose Driven Trader Academy that has access to all of the terms, all of the ICT concepts that I talk on stream about. That's in the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, and that also comes with a Discord, so you could join the Discord or get the courses. There's like 52 videos in there, and it's more than just the videos on that. I also have verses that had a huge impact on my journey, my perspective on those verses, and how to live a kingdom life perspective, live as a kingdom citizen, not just as a somebody that doesn't realize they have access to it. So that's all in there, but then it also comes with a Discord to where you can connect with me, other traders. We're currently building that out. So as it continues to grow, there'll be more engagement, there'll be more people to connect with over time. So you can do it that way. Or if you want the free, if you really want, everything that you would ever need can be found for free on YouTube. That's the truth. You'll take extra work. You'll have to dig for it. You'll have to go through all of the all of the rants and stuff, but it's all there. It's all there, and you can piece it together. The value of courses is, hey, we'll save you time for an exchange. That's really where the value of paying for courses comes in. And now I'll be honest, I've probably purchased in my journey of trading, I've probably purchased 5 or 6 different courses. I've joined 3 or 4 different Discords. And all of them gave me a piece of the puzzle. Piece of the puzzle for what was important to me. So could you get everything in one? Yes, you can. But for me, I liked taking pieces from different Discords, different courses that gave me a holistic perspective of it. And that's kind of what I put together in my course, is that holistic perspective. But you can get everything for free if you really want to. Matthew, same. I have a family member, very, very new to markets, wants to learn. Recommendations, please. Yeah, if they're brand new, they got to go and take it one step at a time. Education has to be the top priority. It can't be trying to make money while you're learning. If you're trying to make money while you're learning, you're going to lose. It's going to be frustrating. You're basically shooting yourself in the foot as you're trying to climb this mountain of profitable trading. It's like, all right, I'm gonna make money. It's on my Sonny, you can down in the description. It's in my description of this, or you can go to DTJ or dtjacademy.com. I just put it in the chat if you want to check it out for more info. But what was I saying? Oh, Matthew, it's like, imagine you're about to go hiking up this mountain, and before you go hiking, you take a pistol and you shoot yourself in the foot. Why would you do that? You wouldn't, because that's just insane. That's the same thing as a brand new trader saying, hey, I want to learn how to trade. I just loaded $5,000 into my personal trading account. What do I need to do to start making money right now? Imagine trying to hike up a mountain with a blown foot. Disaster is going to happen. That's just inevitably what's going to happen. That's what you're doing when you're a brand new trader with a funded account or a personal account with $5,000 in it. You are going to lose that money. Period. Now, there's probably some exception to the whole system, sure, but that's just the truth. You have to view your trading journey as 100% educational. So demo, take the risk out, and learn the strategy. Learn the model. Follow the model. Follow the system. I got 3 models I trade here. I've taught them all. 930. Well, not all of them, I should say. All of them I've taught in the course. The 930 model, the inversion model, the breaker model, and there's 2 more models that I just incorporated, and that's the 30-minute and hourly reversal trades. And those are all my models, which have rules that I use to take those trades. Once you master a model and you can master reading order flow, you start talking out, you relatively can say, hey, I think based on it hitting this level, we should reasonably go up. It could go higher. And you can totally do, once you can identify your model and you can identify reading order flow semi-productively, then you can start introducing the tiniest bit of risk. Because once you introduce risk, the real journey begins. Okay? Think of your journey of climbing a mountain. At the base of it, it's more flat, right? It's flat, and then it gets really steep towards the top. Well, the first 20% of your journey is going to be on the flat part up that mountain. It's easy. Oh, I got this. I got the strategy. I can see the order flow. I know when to get in. I know when to take profit. I know what I'm doing here. The rest of the way, the 80% of your journey is going to be mastering your emotions. 80% of that journey is mastering and being able to control urges, emotions, negative thoughts, positive thoughts that are full of pride, thinking that you have it figured out, that you can take it to the next level. Let's increase our size. That's 80% of the journey. So if you're a brand new trader, you first have to learn. You first have to learn the model. You have to learn how to read and understand the charts that you're looking at. People think that's all it is. No, that's just 20% of it. Then after you do that, then the real work begins on being able to do those things with risk on the table and dealing with yourself in the process. That is 80% of the journey. It's the hardest work you'll ever do in anything you'll ever come across. Guaranteed. It has proven itself significantly harder than I have ever thought it would be. It is a journey. And I will tell you, without having scripture, without having the word of God by my side, for me, I don't know if I could have endured it or still endure it, because it's gotten a little bit easier. But dang, it's legit. It's legit. You will put in the grind and you'll put in the work. So when I talk about the course, or I talk about the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, not only is it the model, not only is it understanding order flow and all those things, which is a majority of the course, but also is in there scriptures that have had a huge impact on my psychology to encourage me through this process, because there's going to be points where you're going to want to give up. There's going to be points where you think, is it even worth it? I've lost so much money. Is it worth it still? Or have you gone so far where you can't even imagine giving up at this point? Right? All those come into as a factor. So, brand new trader, that's what you do. That's what you do. Follow one system, not 10. Follow one system, not 10. That's another point. Here, the difference between, now you might be saying, well, Tyler, you just mentioned that you bought like 5 or 6 different courses. I did, but I will tell you that they were all related and revolved around ICT concepts. When I was learning at the beginning and I committed to ICT concepts, I tuned out everything else. I found resources that were focused on ICT concepts, and that's what I put money into. And it helped give me perspective, clarity, added to my journal. And then now I don't really listen or watch anybody for the most part, because now it's all psychology. It's all psychology at this point for me. If I want to see the growth that I know I'm capable of, it's all going to be directly correlated to my ability to manage myself. And no more training, no more courses, No more understanding order flow is ever going to help, because I know that. It is now managing psychology. And that is where you'll spend so much of your time on. But the problem is when people have losses, so let's just say today you have a losing day and you're like, what the heck? I thought I was making progress. What the heck is going on? How am I losing? And instead of evaluating the psychology aspect of your trading, you go into, what am I missing? Is there more order flow? Am I not understanding order flow? Am I not understanding order blocks? Am I not understanding breakers or fair value gaps? I'm missing something here. And the truth is, you probably understand it. But you're ignoring that, you actually took an impulsive trade here. You actually didn't take the model. You took something else. You actually were oversized too much because you really wanted to make money and you didn't have appropriate size. So when it went into drawdown, it was too much and you freaked out. You cut your trade too early because, it's green. I was in drawdown. I want to get out of this and make a little bit of money. Those are the psychological battles that go on in your head while you're trading, while you're in a trade, before you're in a trade. I just mentioned one earlier here. It was this trade right here. I hesitated. Another psychological thing you have to overcome. Hesitation. I wanted to go long as soon as we hit this black line. As soon as we hit this black line, I was going to click the button. But then I looked and I saw 930. And I'm like, ooh, it rejected 930. I don't know. And I'm thinking to myself, let's wait and see if it really goes in my direction. And in a matter of like 3-4 seconds, boom, 50 points. I missed it. Now I just said this earlier. Now you're dealing with, I hesitated. I missed the move. Now I have FOMO. I feel like I'm going to miss the move. What would have happened if I went long right here? I would have been in drawdown 25 handles. Maybe my stop loss was 50 handles. Maybe it was 30 handles. But if your stop loss that you had was 20 handles, or you're freaking out and you thought, oh man, it's going the other way, and then you exit the button, you just took a loss because you hesitated at the beginning. You missed the trade. It caused FOMO, and that FOMO caused you to take emotional decisions on your entry and on your exit. All began with hesitation. Everything is so connected in this. And you have to be able to recognize yourself and have the ability to be present with yourself in the moment. Tyler, am I taking this trade because I want to make money? Am I taking this trade because I feel like I'm going to miss out on the opportunity? Am I being anxious? How is my body responding in this? That will be 80% of what you will learn that you'll work on as a brand new trader. That's my rant for today. That's my little rant for today. What did I miss? Sony, he's not lying. Lost 18K, which is a lot of money for me. Oh man, it's a lot of money for me, Sony. How to overcome gambling addiction. I thought I was healed from. It's been a tough journey. Dude, this is like profession. This is like this is trading that's No. This is gambling that's masqueraded as trading. That's what this is. This is straight up gambling if you do not follow a system and a set of rules. If you do not follow a set of system and a set of rules, you are gambling. And I had to answer the question, Am I gambling my family's money? Am I gambling my income? What would my family say? How would my kids react? How would my kids feel if they knew exactly what was happening here? Would they think it's stupid? Probably. So then it goes into, man, I need to be a good steward of the resources the Lord's given me. How can I be a better steward of those resources? And then we go through that circle, and then it's just a matter of belief, a matter of conviction, and a matter of determination to actually get to the other side of that. I'm in it right now. I'm still in that journey. I'm not where I want to be. I'm grateful where I've come from and where I am right now, but I know I have so much more. Dan, I started rewatching ICT last weekend, and my trading was much better this week because I know I'm missing something. Yeah, there is something, Diane, when you know you're missing something. There's this there's a unsettling feeling inside that just like I don't feel I have it all, and that's when you keep studying, you keep back testing, and you don't ever stop. But you don't abandon what you're learning and go to something completely different. What you're doing as a trader is, here's my system that I have. What piece am I missing that I need to incorporate, right? And as you've seen me trade, I'll incorporate new things. At one point, I was incorporating, what was it? Because I stopped using it because I found it wasn't helpful. So what you'll do is you'll take your system, you'll incorporate something new into it. Let's say previous day high and previous day low. Or you could say the Friday's midpoint. Or you could say the wicks of candles, the midpoint of the wick of a candle. And you can start putting those things on your chart one at a time and see if it makes your trading more efficient. I've added stuff, and then after a week, I'm like, you know what? I'm not paying attention to this. It's not using. That's like SMTs. For me, that's SMTs right now. I know there's a value in SMT. I just don't use it. It's just, it hasn't clicked in a way for me where I've seen the, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Other people have. I take it off my chart and I don't pay attention to it, right? One of the big ones for me was the previous week's Friday's equilibrium. Friday's equilibrium was a big one for me. Now it's on my charts every week. I'm paying attention to that level. The opening range gap, that was a big thing that I was not using before, but I started in 2024 that had a big impact on my growth as a trader. You'll add things to your journey and you'll remove them as you realize it's not doing what I thought it would do, right? And you just continue on within the same model and system, adding, subtracting as you go. That's what you do. You just don't want a billion things on your screen. Just don't do that. He's not lying. Fear, greed, and pride. Preaching. I need to hear this. I appreciate it. I'm glad it's hitting. Good stuff. You're dropping so much wisdom. Is this going to be available for me to listen again? Sure. This is on YouTube, so it'll be on my channel. That nervousness when you take a trade, that right there, Diane, I'm going to be 100% honest. I have not mastered that one yet. I have not mastered that one yet. Nope. Especially if I have, if it's just one micro, I'm okay. But once we start getting above that, you know, 3, 4, 5 micros, or even a mini contract, that's when it's like I get nervous. So the only way that you can really overcome this, Diane, is you have to go to the smallest level you possibly can. And maybe you already are at the smallest level, and because of that, you can't get any smaller, yet you still feel that. Well, then the question might be, you might need to go back to demo to make sure that you're hitting the models, you're seeing that consistency there, and then go back to the micro and just make that happen. Yeah, Ted, I kept going. I don't even know what happened. Wow, it's been 2.5 hours. I started talking and haven't stopped. I tell you what though, you will learn so much about yourself in this process, guys. And I admire anybody, no matter where they are in their journey. If you're doing 5 micros, go down to 1. Go down to 2, Diane. 100%. There's no doubt in my mind that's what you need to do. Add that. That will help give you the confidence that you can hold for, let's say, bigger moves. No, that's when. What was it, 11 a.m.? I called this. I was calling this move right here. I really wanted it to come up to this level right here and the equal highs, but we didn't get there. You did 2 micros this week. Great. The other thing that, so I just did a video here yesterday. I published it. It was using AI on your journaling. So I journal all my feelings, all my emotions in there, and drop it into AI, and I ask AI to be my mentor, my day trading mentor, and to guide me through some of these questions. And one of the recommendations they gave, because my problem is I don't hold for those 100-point moves. And what was it, just this week, I missed 300-point moves. I took profit at like 20, 30, 40 handles or something like that, yet it moved another 60 handles, right? So what their recommendation is take your emotions out of it. How do you take your emotions out of it? Set hard limits for profit. 20 handles, 40 handles, and then if you have a third contract, put it at your final target. Put it at your final target, and do not sit down. Stand up. Stay away. Hands off. Just let it play out. Let it play out. You have to do that to start building that muscle. If you never do it, you'll never build that muscle. And that just takes time. Yeah, the manipulation, the back and forth has been pretty cray-cray. Pretty crazy as of late. We're now pretty much at the lunch macro, and I'm feeling good. Feeling good for not taking a trade for what, an hour and a half? 10 o'clock? 2 hours. Yeah. Bannock, a macro is a period of time. It's usually, ICT has it 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after the hour. The last 10 minutes of the hour, so here's 11 o'clock. It's this right here is a macro, this period of time. So all this price action inside this gray box is a macro. It's a period of time where price action takes place. And typically during these windows of price action, this time period, you see price move more aggressively. You see price have less fake outs, and it actually runs nicely. So it ran nicely here. You can see that. If we were to take this and put this over at 10 o'clock, we can see another one. We see a reversal in this macro. So we see the reversal take place. We have a sweep, or not a sweep, but close to a sweep. And then we sell off. So you're ideally looking for those reversals at around that time. You get cleaner price action. So those are my favorite times to take trades, personally. I haven't even checked out the opening range. It's all the way over here, isn't it? Ted, I haven't studied the opening range at all either. And are you doing it based on 15 minutes or 30 minutes? I think ICT's is 30 minutes is what he does for the opening range. I don't do anything with the opening range. That's one that I haven't studied, right? So, Diane, that might be one you can check out. See if the opening range has an impact. ICT talks about it. Marking levels off of the opening range. Yeah, he doesn't do a lot off of the opening range though. All right, so lunch is about to start here. Do we go lower? This fair value gap failed. Got another one right here. We're probably going to run down to these ones here. We swept this low right here. See if it closes above this inversion right here. Folks, I think we're going to call it a day here. We're going to call it a day. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll be back next week. It's been a good 2 hours and 45 minutes. Be a good time. Thanks for hanging out with me. God bless. Stay safe. We'll see you here next week. Take care.